Do your own research and diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. The market creating today all kind of new highs, man. All kind of new highs. Really great day for me. I didn't see any trades, man. Let's go ahead and get the show started. Episode 121. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me here on the episode. Let's go ahead and get the thing started. But I didn't see any trades today, man. I really didn't see anything. I was really excited about Jaguar Animal Health. The stock ended up, moving up higher. The stock ended up moving up higher, but let me see here. Let me see the 1-day chart. It gapped up, but for the most part, you got to a high of 112. You really didn't do much. Between 90, right? You probably got 15 cents if you really. And don't get me wrong, when it's a 90-cent stock, that's a good move. That's a good move. But for me, I was like, I didn't really see it. And then when it failed its morning high, I couldn't get back. I couldn't see the trade, man. I couldn't see the trade happening for me. Yeah, I actually agree with you on that one, Jermaine Gill. These last few days have been, I don't know. What's going on to everybody in the building? LK Ra, Bat Scientist, Lennox John. Who else is in the building right now, man? Akban the G, Donzel Essex, Q to Maya, what's up? Tigo, as I said, Jermaine Gill, Select Start. What's going on, Select Start? Town Biz. Eban R, Wesley the Dog, More Peace, Steve Gailey, what's up, Steve? Demarius, Londale Carter, Ryan Gets It, Sabili, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Ralph Renderson, Chase, all right, Stock Skilla, who else is in here, man? Travi, Tara Jenkins, what's up? Adam Willis, all right, people slowly coming into the building. Thank you all for joining me here on episode 121. And I'm going to be interested in seeing what you guys, traded today and how it worked out for you. For me, I didn't see anything. I did not see anything. I ended up going into options. If you guys remember, if you follow my Twitter, where I post some interesting things that are just on my mind or could be developing, I went ahead and posted this on the 4th. I posted this on the 4th that SPY, the option for the Standard & Poor's Spider 500 ETF, was looking to break a strong 2-week resistance point for the ETF. And I thought this was going to be a great week for the ETF. And for the first few days, nothing really happened. In fact, I think we're going to do a really good job if we see it on the one. Let me see here. Is this the 1 month? SPY, and get that down here. Let's pull that down. And let's see here on that 1 month. Yeah, here it is right here. And I mentioned that 229.68 would be that breakout. 229.68. I marked it here on 2/3 this weekend. When that, that's why those weekends are so great for you to do research. That 229.68 was going to be the day. I tweeted it out the next day. And sure enough, man, the first thing out the gate is what we break this morning, 229.68. All right, 229.68, breakout 229.68. And sure enough, first thing this morning, I dropped all the stocks. I wasn't going to pay attention to any other stock besides options. That's all I was going to do was trade the SPY today on that breakout. and the return was beautiful. When I trade an option, especially on a breakout, I always buy the nearest out of the out of the money option that's far away, but chances are likely that it could hit. And these SPY options were going for less than a nickel, and I bought a ton of those, and the stock ran. It was incredible return for me, and that's just what it was. So if I see that happening again, again, follow that Twitter. I'll definitely put it out there. But yeah, I see people talking about JAGX. I didn't see it, man. I didn't see it. Here's the 1-day chart. Look, you could have traded this. I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, you could have bought these pullbacks here on that beautiful cup formation here that started out here where you hit that RSI low. There's your buy point right here. This is the 1-minute chart. So if you were looking at the 1-minute chart here, you saw that support. You could have gotten into that position and probably made some good money on that. I was hoping to get in on the breakout, but when it failed that morning high, I figured that it was done for the day. All right, what's going on, Stock Diva? Ryan gets it. What's up, man? AMD, yeah, man. I mean, what can you say about AMD? AMD calls are just shitting on themselves today. I didn't take a look at this stock today, but I did see it on the morning wrap up, or afternoon wrap up. There on CNBC, AMD kind of shitting on itself here, going lower. But again, this is a momentary pullback on a stock that's done incredibly well over the last year. I mean, this is a stock I followed. You can see all my lines. I followed this very, very aggressively over the last several months. So AMD, a momentary pullback here. It's happened before and it's retraced. So it's working its way up. And I if you're in it on a long term, I wouldn't be too scared of what's going on here. Here's the 5-minute chart. And again, I got the 20, 30, and 50. All right. So the 50 is a red line. The 30 is the yellow. But the 30, of course, 50 is that no-go zone. All right. In terms of longs. Yes, indeed. Yeah. AMD will move for sure. What was really interesting today was NAK. NAK is a stock that we've had guys like Prolix call about. This was the one that, again, we talked about the situation in Alaska. They're trying to dig. They've got some special species of fish. But here's the thing. Jim Cramer, we had a caller today on Jim Cramer's show, Mad Money, bring up NAK, and Jim Cramer said almost 3 times on the show that this is a no-go. He said it's a no-go, don't touch it, no revenues, which he's right. The company has no revenues, questionable business operations. He's right on that. So NAK, they just created the article. I mean, the article just came out now on NAK, headlines for NAK. Cramer's lightning round goes in on NAK. And it came out on the lightning round, so kind of scary now. Well, we'll see what happens on NAK. The stock, for the most part, bounced around for the most of the day. Where are you here on the 5-day chart? 5-day chart, you're kind of sideways too. You got a pull back here to 288. Now you're at 304. So the market on NAK is out because, again, it's running on a lot of hype, and that's the fact. That's the fact. All right. It's running on a lot of hype. It is a classic Trump stock, as you can see here, riding all throughout, since his inauguration, or since his election, really, victory. NAK has gone from a stock that was, I would say, priced pretty accurately, in terms of their balance sheet at what was that, 65 cents to now over $3. Now over $3. So you're talking about a stock that's up now nearly 500% based on just anticipation of some approvals that may or may not come. Shout out to another stock today that continue to create some gains today for investors. Sprint. Sprint is one of stock that we haven't talked about here recently. After kind of a hard February, to start out the month, Sprint falling all the way back almost $1.30 since the beginning of the month, but Sprint slowly kind of working its way back up now. You had that low there of 810, which was yesterday, well actually 2 days ago now, exactly at noon, and now Sprint working its way back up slowly but surely. That's another stock that's been incredibly hot since November, pulled back, but now working its way higher. All right, crossing that 50-day moving average on the 7th, and it's been a lightning ever since. 541, you're on the air. What's up?
What's going on, y'all? This is Ryan Gibson right here, man.
Hey, Ryan, what's up with you, man?
Ain't too much, man. I just want to give out some props tonight, man. I want to give a shout out to my boy Bad Scientist, man. If you can drop one of cruise bombs for my boy Bad Scientist, man.
Yes, sir.
I follow Bats on Twitter, and me and him communicate on Twitter every once in a while. And he gave me a ticker, AQMS. And
now say that one more time.
AQMS.
AQMS, Aqua Metals.
Yeah. Yes. I bought 3 contracts today. I did the 14.50 strike price today, and they expire tomorrow. So I'm going to be selling those off tomorrow. And so I want to let that know, man. If you can send me your address or something in my messenger on Twitter, man. I like to send you some stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to send you a bottle or something, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you did it, man. You got it, and I played it, dude, and it won. You know what I'm saying? So I want to shout out to Bad Scientist, bro. Smart trader, he's a man.
There it is, man. Appreciate it. Ryan gets it, man. That would have been an excellent trade, man. He got in there early and it went right through the strike price.
Yeah, bro.
And slight pullback toward the end of the day, but still, man, awesome.
Yeah, man. He talked about it like 2 days, and I followed his message about reading those candle charts. So I started studying these candle charts and started studying them. And he did the ticker, and I'm like, "That's dude, I got the money to do it. Fuck it, let's do it." And I put in the order, and I screenshot it, sent it to him, and I'm like, "Bro, this is in the bank right now because of you. Thank you, I appreciate that." So yeah, man, that Scientist dude, his message, he's the man. I gotta give props to him, dude. He's the man.
There it is. Thank you so much, Ryan gets it, man. Appreciate your call, dude.
God bless y'all, man. I enjoy the show, my man. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. All right, so shout out to Ryan gets it. And Bad Scientist, I know you're watching, man. If you want to talk about how you came up with that trade, or at least how it came to fruition for you, and what it brought and how it got on your screen, let us know. But that was an excellent trade, man. I see here it started up nice, easy momentum, gapped up higher, and buyers kept those higher prices, man, and just kind of traded higher throughout the day, creating new highs throughout the afternoon until pulling back towards the end of the day where people took profits. But yeah, man, great trade. That's a great trade. AQMS, Aqua Metals. And also I'd like to know, if you think this is something that can keep going. I see here they had the news that Johnson Controls has some kind of agreement with AQMS. If you know any information about that as well, let us know. Johnson Controls takes 5% stake. Okay, so Johnson Controls took a 5% stake in Aqua Metals. That's huge. Johnson Controls is a huge corporation. I believe they do have $1 billion market cap, well over $1 billion actually, and that is big news to a company like Aqua Metals that only has a $200 million market cap. In fact, let's see Johnson Controls. What's that ticker? JCI. So yes, oh my goodness, $38 billion market cap. So yeah, of course, if you're a small company, you're being, supported by a $38 billion multinational corporation. That's huge for your stock. 206, Mr. Lloyd, what's up, man?
What's up, man? That AQMS is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
However, I'm still trying to track what the brother said. He said he bought some contracts that expire tomorrow, and their contracts are monthly. So let me make sure I'm looking at this correctly, because the next contract expires on the 8th, but he said it expires tomorrow. So hopefully we're talking about the right stock. And none of the contracts have a lot of volume, so I'm trying to figure out which one, if you can kind of clarify which contract you're buying, because the next one doesn't expire for 8 days, and then the following one doesn't expire to 36 days. So,
yeah, Ryan gets it. If you're listening, man, go ahead and let us know what's the deal with that. But yeah, I mean, I know most of the very liquid ETFs trade weekly, and there are some stocks that unfortunately don't have options that trade weekly. This might be, as Mr. Lloyd said, a monthly option.
Yeah. So you better want to take a look and make sure you got the right stock. If you send it expires tomorrow, we might be talking about the wrong one. But the chart looks good.
Yeah.
I just don't see that one that he said he bought the 14 to 14.50 and then it blew through the strike price.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the stock opened up at 1384, 1370, and it blew right through it, so it closed at 1616 for the day.
That's not even a $14 strike price. So I'm trying to figure out which option did he buy.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I ain't trying to call the brother.
No. I mean, that's Ryan gets it. He called up and told us about it. So if he can clarify that, go ahead and clarify.
But looking at the chart, man, if I was to buy some options, I'd probably get the 1250s. I mean, that's really way in the money.
Yeah.
If that's what he's referring to, and it looks like it has a little running room here. It's going to be heading off to. Matter of fact, it's coming off the squeeze here, so we may be hitting 1650. I'm looking at the minute chart. My fault. Let me take a look here.
I agree with you on this one. This is going to be a multiple day. This might be a multiple day. Well, it will be a multiple day.
Well, tomorrow, I think people are taking prop. Well, we'll see about tomorrow. But from looking at the hourly chart, if it opens up in a down day, it looks like it's really overextended right now, but you can't tell with news, so it's really hard to tell how far stuff is going to go with news. But as far as me, man, I bought a Goldman Sachs this morning.
Okay.
And let me tell you, man, emotions. That's the hardest thing when trading stocks is trying to control those emotions, especially when you're down. And I bought $500 worth of Goldman Sachs this morning. Okay. And I got up to go get something to drink, and I was down $220. And, I only had like 20 minutes left before I went to work, and I was like, man, should I just go ahead and close out the trade? But, when you're playing these higher-priced stocks, you're really playing against the machines. I mean, you're basically, I feel like they're trying to shake you out.
Sure.
So I ended up closing out today on that. I had 260, and by the time I hit the button, I was down to 210. So I was content with that, even though I could have made about $400 or $500 that day, because it did go up another $2. But okay, he said he bought the 1250 calls. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, because there's a lot more volume there. But so I made a little change off Goldman Sachs, and I'm closing out my spread tomorrow for Amazon. So my weekly deal that so I'll be closing out with 240 with that one. So that's about 400 for the week. Okay. So I'm just working on consistency for as far as the most part. But
now, Mr. Lloyd, have you noticed that going longer on your options is working a little bit better for you?
I actually, and you're right. So basically, my goal was each week is to place my spread strategy and to close out on by Thursday or Friday with my max profit. However, last week with Chipotle, man, that was a $6,000 I would never ever forget that I missed out on. But that was $500 that I lost out on because I didn't understand or I didn't hit the right button. You know, so it's definitely key to know your trading platform. Yes, I believe so, but I mean, I don't like the longer ones because you just never know what's going to happen, and so I really haven't really figured a good. I mean, I found a strategy that I think is going to work, but as far as longer, like months wise, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. I can't stomach the up and down, and round the corner and stuff like that. But the time decay does bother me. But that's why I'm trying different spreads out to eliminate that time decay. So we'll see what happens. MMEG, man. I mean, I knew that shit was gonna kind of take a shit today. I'm gonna tell you something about penny stocks, and this is just my opinion, man. I think coming from penny stocks to this, I think penny stocks are the hardest to. Basically, it takes a skill to learn sub-penny stocks because it requires a lot more research. So, because you got to look at the 10K, you got to know the chart, you have to read the Twitter to see what the sentiment is, and kind of, I mean, it just takes more skill to me. And so, I think when people transition from penny stocks to actual Nasdaq or or $10 or $15 stocks, I feel like it's an advantage that you receive because it I guess it disciplines you more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, my biggest struggles, and actually, what's crazy when you're down $200, man. I think if I first started and I saw I was down $200, I just would have cut my losses and moved on. But if you're sure about your analysis, there shouldn't be any fear. And so I just kind of, in the back of my head, I was like, shit, I'm just going to have to wait this shit out, you know what I'm saying, because I know it'll turn around. And so in the morning, it shook me out a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go take a shower and come back. And sure enough, I saw my 260, and I just went ahead and took my profits and left and got to work, even though it went up $2 more. I was like, well, I mean, it'll always be tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? So other than that, man, as far as any good penny plays,
I didn't see it. Me personally, man, I didn't see it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what other people in the chat room say and what's available. But I didn't see anything today that I could say, okay, I'm going to put my money here, and I think in
right.
2-3 days I'm going to
right.
be able to get me a look on it. But I didn't see it.
Right. And you guys that are new out there, don't feel like you're compelled to play every single day.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you need to go and dish out money because you see somebody post on Twitter that they got $1,000. They're not going to post that $5,000 loss they had the day before. So you feel hyped up like, oh, shit, let me go ahead and get my money in there. And don't feel like you have to do it, and just be sure when you go in with confidence. And if you go in, be tough about, when you see $20, $30 loss, just don't be scared, man. Just and I guess, the part that I run into as far as is really when do you really cut your losses? I mean, would you cut your losses if you see a $200 loss normally? A
$200 loss, yes. I mean, on a penny stock, yes. On an option, depending on how where I'm at on the chart. But
right.
a penny stock, $200 down, yeah, I'm out of there, man. If I'm down $200, I'm probably out of there. Because I already know, on my penny stocks, I don't even go in that big to begin with. So if I'm down $200, I already know it's probably a wrap.
Right.
So
and if you pull up GS, Goldman Sachs, G as in George, S as in Sam, and I'm not going to dwell too much on these, but I just basically wanted to explain what the fake out was.
Yeah, this morning where it gapped up higher and then came back down to test the 50-day.
Right. So I bought the two. What the hell did I buy? I bought the. Shit, what the hell did I buy? I bought the 230. Give me 1 second here. Let me just make sure because I don't want to be giving out false information. The 240s. Okay. I bought the 240s and it went down to 237.
Yeah.
in the AM. I said, "Oh shit, well it's time to go." But then it came back up over
back
two,
up.
like two. Yeah, it came back over at 2, and it's crazy. You know, you don't see the shit when you're watching it tick by tick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you see it afterwards. You know, like, oh, that's what I could have done. You know, it's like I listened to what we was talking about yesterday and trying to see if I can see it when it comes, and it's really hard. But you know, that's when your instinct has to kick in. So there's really no magical way, man. But like I said, my feeling was that okay, it's going to come back. I mean, they're not gonna let this shit fucking. I mean, it went up $1. People took profits and it came back. But I mean, I still don't know what the true method is behind that. So, you guys don't feel compelled. I mean, especially if you got a limited income, $500, $1,000, or $100. Don't feel like you need to jump in and blow all your money up in there, because once you lose it, you're gonna feel discouraged, and then we probably won't hear from you for a while. So take your time. There's a lot of people out here to help you. There's a lot of things to learn from, but you know, this isn't fast money. If you want fast money, you better go to the casino, play some blackjack or some slots. But this is definitely something that you need to take your time with, because this market will eat you up and spit you out and won't give a damn about you. So that's my 2 cents. And hopefully pretty soon, man, once I get this shit down packed a little bit more, I definitely will be going back to the equities and sharing the love on some of the plays. However, you know, when you're going from penny stocks to NASDAQ to options, each sector has their own method of strategy, and you can't mix all of them together, because you're gonna fuck yourself up. So, but anyways, man, yeah. So that's my 2 cents for the day. I appreciate it. Bats, we're gonna have to get together, man, and so I can figure out how you find these options. But if you got some liquid options, man, let me know, because I hate to get in some of these options and get my ass stuck up in there. Amazon right now is really, really hard to get in.
It's almost not only it's expensive as hell, but you know, after that, I should have got in there when it shitted on itself, like it did almost like a week ago now, where it really gapped down here. Where at that 809 level, I mean that should have been automatic, and that was the third. Yeah, the third. It gapped down to a low of $809. That is just buy all over it, and I didn't take advantage of it. And now it's at $821, and that's easy money on an option for somebody. So.
Right, but you know the problem is, man, and you may run into this, is when let's say you buy 5 contracts, and when my order filled, actually I bought Amazon at the beginning of the week, it only filled 2 of the 5, and I thought I had 5 contracts in there, and so you have to be careful, because there's no all or none button for options. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So if you got that $9.99 fee, fortunately I got the just $1.50 per contract. I don't have to pay that $9.99. So if you got that $9.99 fee plus that 75 cents for the contract, I mean, you're paying a lot of money for one contract, because you're getting filled at that price. So if you want to get the rest of your contracts, you're gonna have to pay wherever the market maker says he wants you to pay it. So, you know, playing really liquid options are very, very important. So my next goal is to learn 2 or 3, like Amazon, SPX, and just one more ETF, and just kind of keep track of those. But when you're going in and out like this, I mean, you have to be cautious, because you need to understand how that market moves. So, just like, you know, for you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, you know, some of you guys may be pimps, sleep with a lot of women. Some of you guys may like 1 or 2, but you never know. When you're sleeping around with a bunch of women, you never know what you might get yourself into. One may be real big, one may be real tight. You know, you just don't know. So you just want to stick what you know and what you like and enjoy.
There it is. Hey, Mr. Lloyd, I want you to check out, before you get off the air, check out SPY 231 February 24th call. I took a position in that today. My goal is that
What price?
The price is 231.
231.
231 February 24th. The goal is that by 4 days before expiration, I'm deep in the money. I'm talking. It's at 118. I got in at 118. The goal is that I'm in it at like 330, 340.
You bought the 231s?
The 231s.
Uh,
February 24th. Now, I know it's a ways away. Just
No. But the problem is, the further away is fine. It's no big deal. It just it looks like it's. And let me just double check here because it looks like it was struggling to get to that level.
We just broke out today, so I'm anticipating a slight pullback, but that's why I wanted to give myself an extra week, which was going to be this next week. But 231 is the next. Based on how we got here to 230, I'm expecting 231 SPY to be in the situation. But go ahead and give us a call back, man. Give me a call back on.
But I would just say real quick. So looking at SPY, man, it's still an uptrend. You're still looking good, and it's slow and steady. So I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. This is a whole new level for this particular stock. So. And looking at the daily, and as if BATS was on the line, he'll say the 8 exponential moving average. So it is up above the 8 exponential moving average. And if you ever watch Steve Bigelow, he says as long as it stays above the 8, you stay in the trade. So as long, it's still looking good from this point on. So there's no close below it. So, so I would say that you will get there. But as far as how high it would go, you need to keep an eye on those candles and if they start to show a lot of dojis at the top, especially when you exceed like let's get up to 232, you might want to consider taking your profits since this is a whole new level, because people are going to be taking profits, once it surpasses that level. But right now, actually looking at the TTM squeeze, it did fire off on the, what's the date here, on the 6th. So we're at the 9th. So basically, the squeeze fired off, and we're still blue. So I think you're good. You may get that 231. You may want to try to figure out where you're going to start taking profits at.
Yeah.
I don't know what level you want to take profits at, but wherever you feel comfortable, because SPY can be quite tricky with its volatility and based on news. So I think you're going to get your 231. However, you just need to make sure you figure out where you want to pull out at. So, if you get $100 or $200, just take it, I guess. But don't wait for that $1,000 push.
Right. All right.
Cool, man. Well, I'll keep my eye out for you, man. And if I see anything, I'll definitely let you know. But I think that was a good call for you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Mr. Lloyd.
All right, no problem, brother. Have a good one.
All right. So shout out to Mr. Lloyd. Always got great information, man. And when Connor used to call up a lot and give him the bomb and really introduced us to options, we didn't know what it was, wasn't anything about it. And this guy was showing us, how he was making, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, $17,000 a week trading options with little over $4,000 a position. It's absolutely incredible. And Mr. Lloyd has taken that and really ran with it and doing well, man. So, and getting better with that. All right. So getting back to these stocks, man. Hold on. I think this might be Ryan Gitson wanting to clarify. 541, you're on the air. What's up?
What's going on, Sal? This is Ryan Gitson right here, man.
All right. So what's up, Ryan?
Thanks so much. I wanted to talk to Mr. Lloyd, man, to see his opinion on this one, because I like what he was saying. And that's true, man. If you guys can look at this for me, the ticker is called CCME. And if Mr. Lloyd and that batch, if y'all see in there, man, I want to buy the 8-day $25 call. I want to buy 3. I want to buy 3 contracts.
And that ticker
again I want to get those. M-E. CCME.
CC Mary?
N.
Oh, N.
CCME.
Okay.
Nancy.
Nancy, okay. 2437. Okay. All right. Well, you guys heard him, so give us a call back if you got anything to do about it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. That is CCNE.
Yeah, I got it here. CCNE. Is it the bank?
Yeah, financials.
Yeah, financials. Okay. Yeah, the volume is a little sketchy. Yeah, volume's a little sketchy, but definitely we'll see what
Yeah,
Mr. Lloyd
yeah.
and them say about it. But let me go
You
ahead and
know,
get back to these
cause
stocks,
I
man. I
want
appreciate it.
to. Yeah, cool.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan Gets It. All right, so yeah, not to cut you off, Ryan. I just want to get back to these equities real quick because we spent some time here on options. But yeah, if they got a good analysis on it, give us a call. The only thing is that the volume, man, only 20,000 shares traded. That right there scares the shit out of me because if some real news drops, I don't know about that one. Yeah, no volume. Yeah, no volume in the options. It's going to be hard to get out. Then you're looking for a situation, and then you just start struggling. Talk about getting around the PDT rule with one account. For the only way to get around the PDT rule with one account is if you have over $25,000. I mean, that's the only way to get around that. You can use UStockTrade. UStockTrade is a broker we used to talk a lot about here. A lot of people got it confused that they implemented the PDT rule. They did not. UStockTrade has not implemented the PDT rule. You can still have unlimited trades there at UStockTrade for $1 in, $1 out, no OTCs. The only thing is that you trade in between. It's a weird system where you trade in between other members. All right, but UStockTrade does not have the PDT rule from what I heard, from what they've told me. All right, but other than that, you can go cash. Cash is the only thing that options really doesn't have a PDT rule, especially if you have a cash account, because options trades, it settles in one day. So the very next day you get your trades again. All right, so a cash account, but that only trading options, unfortunately, can get you around the PDT rule. But other than that, I don't know of any other way to get around the PDT rule besides having multiple accounts, where you give yourself another 5, spread your account half here, half there. Frustrating, yes, but it's a good way to give yourself multiple trades. All right. Hey, Prolix, what do you think about what was said today on Fast Money about NAK, man? Jim Cramer basically came out and called NAK a scam. I mean, in short words, he basically called it a scam. Very interesting thoughts. KBSF, let me see here. KBSF, somebody brought up KBSF in the chat room. Hey, Treasure Hunter, call back, man. I saw you tried to call in. Call back, Treasure Hunter. KBSF, KBS Fashion Group. 381, 129,000 shares traded. Not enough volume for me. This is a new stock. Is this a new issue? Okay, this is a reverse split. I don't see any trading history before here, so let me know what's the deal with KBSF. Hey, Treasure Hunter, what's up, man?
What's happening, Sam? What's happening?
What you got for us today, man?
Let me see. Let me see for starters. I definitely agree with Lord, and I disagree with Lord. When he say about do your homework, I definitely agree with that. If you do, read about the company, or do what I do, just read the charts. But I disagree with him when he say about the stocks. It takes slow money, because what I do, I put my money in fast-moving stocks, so a high-risk stocks, I get paid quick. But you lose it quick too, Like you can make more money in 20 minutes, half hour in one day, and then you could do a regular job all week long in the stocks. You know what I'm talking about?
True.
Yep. But going back to the stocks. So yesterday plays that I jumped into, you know what I'm saying? When market opening, it was going sideways, going down, sucked, all that bullshit. So my patience was short. I exit out all of them. And something, VNR, something about VNR, I bought at 21 cents.
Yeah.
I know it's up after hours. I know you don't believe in after hours stuff.
All right.
But got my account looking
yeah,
pretty good.
VNR, bands are tightening toward the low.
Oh,
This is a
thanks for the
stock
wind
that...
up. Yeah, the wind up. I see that wind up during the day, I put cash in, bro, and then it bounced up after hours. I don't know how long it's gonna last.
Well, yeah, we'll
But,
see
you know,
where it is right now. Let me see where it is right now here on my equity feed. VNR, yeah, VNR is showing after hours price of 23 cents, based on
yeah,
some last minute orders that got filled there. Here I
yeah,
see some last minute after hours orders. It's at 23 cents now. No news as of right now. But
yeah.
you know, you do have to be aware that this company did announce that they're going to file for bankruptcy. So if we have something that comes out, I would take my money and run ASAP. But this company has, you know, started the paperwork to file for bankruptcy.
Okay, true
Yeah.
that. So tomorrow I'll probably have my finger on the Wild Wild West trigger. You know how
Yeah,
it
because
goes.
whatever gain, you know, comes to the stock, it won't last long. So I would definitely
Yeah,
take the profits and
I
run,
got
because
21.
you've already got
Anything
some
over that
people in there
profit.
who are looking to get out here. As you know, the stock, you know, pretty much collapsed from $1 or late last week. So you've got some people in there who are looking to find a reason to get out, you know, but recover at least some of those losses. So I would get out real soon on that one.
Yeah. All right. Definitely thanks for the heads up. Another play is OCUL. Made out pretty good on him today.
Yeah, OCUL, Ocular Therapeutics.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, not bad on this. I don't know too much about this company. Good volume though, but don't know too much about this one.
Ready? Another supernova that I think is doing pretty good. But Sal, don't go first thing in the morning. Start short in these bad boys. But another supernova that I've been doing pretty good in is ARRY. You know what I'm saying? Look at the
Airy,
max, man.
yeah, you know, Aries, man, Aries is a stock we've talked about here on this show several times. I know some people would recognize this stock. We've talked about Airy multiple times.
Yeah,
Uh,
good or bad or what's up?
well, no,
I
I
mean,
mean
I do the
it does
chart. You do
it does its
the
thing. I mean, it's been doing its thing, and you know, was pulling back, and then of course, you know, the election of Donald Trump got this one going higher. Biotech stock, of course, you know, implementation supposedly is going to make it easier for drugs to get approved, and blah 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 blah. So you know, the overall trend since November has been doing well. You know, it looks like it'd been you know, funneling from 1080 to 10, well, about 1030 to 1080 for the last, well, almost month or so. So nice little breakout here from a multiple month high. That's a beautiful move on that, man. That's almost, what is that? Almost $2 gain today in the stock on
Yeah,
ARRY. $12 stock, not the cheapest thing in the world, but
well,
a $1 billion market
but
cap.
it keep gaining and gaining. But like I said, I don't know how long these bad boys gonna be running for. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Sal, another thing. I know it's not a Friday show, but you know, if you do this, I can say stocks for a while, you know, you end up making a profit, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, my old lady, I showed her, you know how much money, you know, we make and all this and that on the stocks. Bro, you know, I turn wrenches, you know, race my truck and all this and that, you know, mud and redneck stuff. She called me a nerd, bro. Now, is stock people nerds because we get paid more than average people, or what's up with that? What's your take on that, bro?
I don't know. I don't believe. Well, I think.
I don't wear no glasses, none of that shit, and I just get paid extra.
I don't think people who are into stocks are nerds. But one thing I do believe is that a lot of people who do trade stocks are very, what's the word for people who are introverts? So a lot of introverted people are attracted to that. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't call them nerds, but I definitely call them people
I'm
who
like,
like
yeah,
information,
playing games on their phone. I'm like making money on my, you know.
Yeah, who like who like the idea of playing a game and who like doing research, I think those are the people who are very successful at this. And I wouldn't per se call them nerds because they tend not to have a lot of knowledge in any other subject at depth.
Like detectives kind of stuff.
Right. So
true that.
But yeah,
man.
man.
And another thing, bro, you know, I didn't, you know, been mentioning them for a little minute because I've been trying to wait for them to go up for a couple of more cents. but he didn't go down back into the zeros. He was holding, in the 1 cent range. Is that marijuana play that IVFZF?
Yeah, this
Remember
one
that?
I don't
He
know
didn't
what
drop. He's still holding that 1 cent, baby.
I don't see what
So
you
far.
see in this on an IVFZF, man. I mean,
It's a sleeper. It's a camper. I mean, I bought it. Double zeros. Now it's 1 cent, and it's money that to was not planning to do nothing with it. Now it's actually growing, sort of. I don't know how long it's gonna keep.
I mean, I'm sure you can buy into it. I'm sure there are a ton of people wanting to get out of this thing, but I don't see how you're going to get out when it's time to.
True that.
But yeah, man, appreciate the call, Treasure Hunter.
All right, man. You got it, cuzzo. Let
All
you
right.
know tomorrow, please.
Thanks
Yeah,
a
man.
lot, man.
Anytime.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of CLWD, and they, when they hit me up, hey man, we want you to run our ad on your videos. We'll do it for a week, and we'll give you about $2,500. And I'm looking at the stock; it's got no volume. I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, if this is your way of creating volume, I think it can be an incredible ride for them if they really, get serious about putting a lot of money out and getting the word out about CLWD. But they had no volume. It's just nothing going on. So they've got to either, put some more shares out there or figure out a way to get some things more consistent on CLWD. But that reminds me of some of that. IVFZF, just nothing going on. AMRN, Prolix, biotherapeutic drugs, healthcare company. So far, I haven't seen, oh, that this is a nice one. This might be our first one that we can really take a look at here. This might be the one we can really take a look at here. I like the chart here, nice and steady moving forward. Not bad. If we zoom in a little bit, we see opportunities to get in and ride the wave. Looks like, this stock has been changing ever since the 30th of last month. What came out then? So, okay, we had some debt restructuring news released at that time. So, interesting move there on AMRN. All right, this is I'm gonna have to learn a little bit more about. And Prolix, if you have any information on exactly what they do and what they got in the pipeline, what's really important about trading biotech stocks is that you got to know what's in the pipeline, where they are in their clinical trials. Are we approaching, 2, 3? 3 is really the most important. But then you also have FDA approval you have to go through in order to go through to 3, because the third round of clinical trials typically is when they use human subjects, and data has to be submitted to the FDA in order to have that approved. All right, so that's the thing about biotech companies like these, and I'm not even sure if they've got anything in the pipeline on the works. You're gonna have to figure that out. All right, what's going on, David? Got David in there. And David, I got your email. I was thinking about a way to respond because it's a little bit, trickier than just, hey, everybody come here, because the Discord thing is kind of precludes it, kind of is before me. So they kind of just slap my name on it, but it's not necessarily like mine. But I'll let you know a little bit more about that. LNGT, Laser Energetics, 233%. Damn. That was today alone. And okay, so all right, so it looks like, okay, this was the chart today. All right, so we just basically had huge multiple buys in here. All right, so as you can see here, a lot of gaps in the chart here. So there were a lot of large purchases in the stock on LNGT. I'll put it on a list to watch, because this looks like, promoter buying or large investor buying that believes that something else could be coming. So it's something to watch, and if it does make a move, I'd love to say that we scoped it out. Okay, David is calling it a sleeper, and by the way, that's David from Investors Hangout, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get an account there, because they get all the sleepers over there. You said you bought in at 0015. Let me see here. Is that you bought in at 0015? I think the high was 0013, Jacob. I don't know if we're talking about the same stock. 845. You're on the air. What's up?
What's up, Silas Prolix?
Hey, what's going on, Prolix?
Not much. Yo, I actually have some information on that biopharmaceutical company that I just typed in the chat.
Okay.
Believe it or not, about 107 days ago, they had one of their what's it called, prescriptions go actually available into smaller half-gram capsule sizes. But they also have another project they're working on. They're actually set to participate in Leerink Partners' 6th annual Global Healthcare Conference in in Dublin, Ireland on February 9th. So that was actually today that conference started to take place. Hold on one second. They do have another thing they're working on. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Hold on one second.
And for those of you who don't know, Leerink Partners it's an investment bank.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on.
That specializes in a lot of these small to mid cap bio plays.
I was gonna say this is actually, believe it or not, the price target for them this year is $5 a share.
Okay.
But they also have, I know they have another one. It's called, I can't think of the name of it. It's something it. Reserve it or something. I know it's for heart disease they're working on. I just wish I could figure out what the name of it is. But they've actually been producing some decent results with it, which is why I bought it a long time ago. I got in at $2.99. It's up at $3.40. But the price target this year is $5 a share, and believe it or not, they're actually making some decent progress with their brand new thing they're working on. I wish I could figure out the name of it. I know Visecpa is one of the things that actually hit the shelves, but they have another thing that they're working on, and it's actually been showing results. So pretty soon here, I think they're actually going to be doing even higher level testing on it. But so far it's not they've been producing results with it. Not much we do have, but I own 75 shares of it, and I'm just holding on to it right now.
Okay.
But
yeah,
other than that,
I actually see a higher price target that you brought up. One of my favorite websites, MarketBeat.com, for that kind of information, and it lists the investment banking firms and their ratings on stocks. And I see here on January 24th, H.C. Wainwright put a price target of $10 on the stock. On the 12th, Cantor Fitzgerald put a rating of $6 on the stock.
I was going to say also.
Interesting.
What is it? Citigroup actually initiated it as a buy not too long ago.
Yeah.
Right before the turn of 2017.
Yeah.
But also Free for Royally fucked all of their shareholders. Their reverse split really made them look bad. Actually, I know it was to keep their company listed.
Yeah.
But
which was interesting because they didn't really have to do that. I mean, they trade on OTCs. There's no price requirement for OTC stocks. Now, if they wanted to simply, remove some outstanding shares, which I think this was the issue to get the stock being able to move, maybe they could have looked at simply deleting some outstanding shares. Why reverse split? Who knows? But now they're trading at 62 cents a share. Obviously, everybody who bought in at the triples, has practically been wiped out, and now probably has a quarter, if not even less, than the stocks they originally bought.
Yeah, what I didn't understand about it which was actually weird, when they did the reverse split, they gave you one share for every 10,000 that you own. And then after they did that, it was they changed their ticker symbol, and then if you read their letter to investors, their forward-looking statement was very vague. It was just they didn't make it a public thing. They didn't list it publicly. It was something that you literally didn't know about unless you looked it up on their website. And then after they did that, like I said, they changed the ticker. And then in that forward-looking statement, they just they stated a bunch of words like hope and plans and all these they're usually, because in forward-looking statements you're looking for what the company plans to do down the road. And literally it was just okay, these are all things that you would normally look for in a forward-looking statement, but unfortunately we have no information on anything we plan on doing going forward. So I had, I think, 5,000 shares I got for $60, and then once they did the reverse split, I had one share for 63 cents.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I took a loss there, but I was I'm not buying any more of it, especially if they don't know what they're doing planning ahead, because they were yes, reduce it. Q de Mayo said it. Reduce it is what I was looking for in Amarin.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, they really have. I was I don't know. It seems almost shady the way they did it, because I was they did a reverse stock split without releasing it as public. Granted, they don't have to because they're an OTC company, but it was just the idea that it was just because I was imagine somebody who invested $300 into that company, and your $300 turned into $11. But so other than that, AMD has been doing pretty well for me. Actually, I doubled my money on that. So
yeah, AMD has definitely been a rock star, man, since breaking out of that 1151 high that it was stuck under for almost 2-3 months. But yeah, now it's been soaring, man. Nice play on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been holding since $6.75 a share, so I've pretty much made my $2,500 back. I invested in that, and from now on, basically everything that I make out of that has been pretty much just gain on top of what I put into it. So. But anyway, I just figured I'd call in and let you know about Amarin. Also, NAK, the thing you asked me about NAK.
Yeah.
I'm actually, believe it or not, I don't think they're fraudulent. I know that article states that they think it's a scam. I'm going to hold on to it personally. The only reason I'm holding on to it is because Trump just approved that pipeline in North Dakota. So after he approved that, I'm kind of just okay, well, we'll see what happens. If he doesn't approve anything, I think here in the next, let's see, now it's probably 80 days. So within the next 2 months, if we don't really hear anything different, then maybe I would start selling while it's, around the $2, $3 mark. But the day Trump actually got elected was when that stock started going up 4 days after. So.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, but I'm pretty confident in NAK.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the call, Prolix.
You're welcome, man. We'll see you, Sal.
All right. So, yeah, so Prolix still a believer, man. Prolix still a believer, and shout out to him, man. Always got these really good trades. NAK, not bad. That's the thing. They, no earnings, no real business so far. It's got a lot of people, growing anxiety. In NAK. AMD, that speaks for itself on that run. AMRN, which he just brought up, a lot of good things going for that company, and that's got a really, really nice arc there to that one. It's got some pullbacks in it, so it's pretty safe to jump on and see what can happen. But shout out to Connor in the chat room, man. What's going on with you, Connor? And Connor, I don't think you've been here in a minute, but man, what's going on with NVIDIA? I wanted to take a position in NVIDIA today, based on, what it's been doing over the last 2 weeks, because NVIDIA has been tearing it up over the last 2 weeks. I felt that, all right, so earnings are coming up. NVIDIA is, more than likely going to crush earnings because it has to be institutional buying at these price levels, 115, 112, 105. Then we got to talk about, them crushing earnings. The information is out. Sure enough, NVIDIA destroys earnings, and the stock is going down. The stock is going down. So that was kind of frustrating, man. And, I'm trying to, I didn't buy in, but I'm thinking maybe, after hours, where we are here after hours, that the market will smarten up and All right, so we're at 116.70 after hours. Okay, so we're higher after hours right now. We closed up at 116.38. Equity feed is letting me know as of right now, real-time price is and 116.70 for NVIDIA. So we're higher after hours right now. So hopefully the market has changed its sentiment after hours on NVIDIA, and that was strong news. I mean, that was pretty strong news. They did beat the street on top and bottom line. So looking to see what people think about NVIDIA. What's going on, May Single? He said NVIDIA expectations too high, but they beat the expectations. They beat the expectations. Somebody brought up CBR. CBR is just, a slight pullback on CBR. I think if you're in CBR, I'd still wait it out. I'd still wait it out on CBR. You got to understand the trend that the situation that got you lower, that gap down, that got you lower the other day has been cured. Now you're just talking about, getting to, working its way up higher. You just got to be patient on that. I mean, that's just what it is. You don't have a catalyst that's going to come down and drag the price up 20 cents in one day. This is a situation where, the stock pretty much crashed on the 3rd based on, a failure situation in financing. That situation was rectified, and now it's working its way back to those levels, the 45, 55 cent level. But here's the thing, though. You've got to understand that on CBR, the trend was already pretty negative. So if you're in CBR, I think max you're looking at probably is 50 cents. Max you're probably looking at is 50 cents. In CBR, if you get that way, and the day's high today was 46 cents. So you had resistance at 46 cents. So I'm thinking, how much higher can you go? The stock fell off the roof at about 45 cents, right? This was the 3rd. And it slowly worked its way back after the financing deal, selling off some assets. So it's made its recovery. I don't know how far, higher you can see yourself going here. 516, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? I got a question with options, and then I'll, give him one of the tickers for an OTC stock.
Sure, go ahead.
Hey, Sal. Oh, let me turn my volume down.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got to give a shout out to you, Bats, Connor, Mr. Lloyd, and all the others, because y'all really helped,
Hello? I swear I didn't do anything. I think his phone, I don't know if his phone went out or what. I swear I didn't do anything. I was just sitting here listening. So I don't know what happened there, man. Give me a call back, bro. Give me a call back, man. I was just listening to you and it just went out, dude. CBIS, so I don't know if your cheek hit the phone or what, man. Hit the disconnect or what. CBIS, 11 cents a share, man. It might be done, man. It might be a wrap for CBIS, bro. It might be a wrap for CBIS. CBIS, the volume had been just insane these last couple of days, dude. The volume had been insane. I mean, look what 113 million shares traded, averaging 54. Really no catalyst. Really no catalyst. I mean, they're putting out a bunch of phony articles, but none of the articles had, really any numbers to them. See, when these OTC stocks put out information, the thing I want to see is some numbers. What does the deal mean to the company's bottom line? 516. I don't know what's going on with your phone, 516, man, but as soon as I click, okay, I'm going to accept your call. 516. There you go. Hello? Yeah, 516, man. As soon as I accept your call, it's like you hang up on me. I don't know, man. I mean, we've had every single call go right. 516, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal.
All right.
Sorry, I think I'm back now. So, TGSL. What's your thoughts on that one?
TGSL.
Yeah.
TGSL or FL?
TGSL.
TGSL. I'm not getting a ticker on that. TGSL.
Oh, T as in Tom.
Uh-huh. And then what else?
You got it?
Well, T. Well, go ahead with a letter T. Then
Oh, my bad. TSGL. There you go.
TG.
TSGL.
TSGL. There we go. All right.
There you go.
All right. So TSGL 170%. Damn, gain today. All right. So the volume was just, okay. That just kind of came out of nowhere here. So, okay. So this.
So
is
yeah, I saw that it's the earnings were pretty good, and I got it 62 cents and got out at 82. Just rode the wave and got out. Now I'm just looking at it for a little bit to see what other guys are doing, if it'll go up higher. But I just wanted to throw that out and see what are your thoughts.
The staffing group, emerging company, specializing in leveraged buyout transactions, restructuring, focus on verticals. When did earnings come out here? You're saying pre-announces. It came out. Let me see here. I want to learn a little bit more about this situation. All right. They came out with something showing that for fiscal year 2016, the company expects, quote unquote, to report a revenue of $4.2 million. See, man, companies like this, I don't believe it, man. And until I see it, I don't believe it. You know what I mean? It's up huge. The timing just seems just so suspicious to me. They expect revenue of 4.2 million, gross profit of 1.6. When I look at the 10Q, I'm trying to figure out, how net revenues.
Like I said, I just rode the wave for a little bit, but until I see something, then I'll make a bigger move. But you're kind of saying the same thing. Like, I'm a little suspicious myself, but there's some movement.
Yeah, I mean, there's volume coming in. I'd be interesting to see where that comes from on that, because that it's an interesting move for the company. 4.2 million, gross profit of 1.6, but the company's hemorrhaging cash based on its. So I'm trying to figure out what moves did they make. Yeah, I'd have to look more into this. Because when I'm looking at it right now, it looks like a pump. It just looks like a clear pump. And if you made money on it, great. Congrats to you. But as of right now, it looks clearly like a pump. It's got way more liabilities than it does assets. You got a lot of people in here who it owes money to. The company is giving shares away for administrative duties to attorneys, to accountants. So it looks like a pump, just breezing through the 10K. But I mean, look, if it's making you money and volumes comes in, I mean, play the situation.
I'm just watching it right now, just letting it cook. Yeah. But shout out to Bats, you, Connor, and Mr. Lloyd and all the others, man. You guys been helping out everyone a lot. So thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, bro. All right, so shout out to 516. But yeah, man, TSGL looks clearly like a pump. Hey, when you guys call in, man, make sure you say the ticker's nice and slow. Y'all be calling them like, TWW. I'm like, what the hell? What did you just say, bro? What? Making a brother feel retarded or something like that, man. Some of y'all calling from these Metro PCS phones and shit. I can't hear what the hell y'all are saying, man. What's going on, Sinclair? Sinclair's talking about PLUM. PULM, PULM. That was the huge runner a couple days ago. Last week, to be exact. And that turned into a monster. PULM. That was for 3 days. That was just a monster for a lot of people. PULM. Now bands are getting a little tighter again. I mean, this is the tightest we've seen the bands here since that run. So Sinclair thinks a possible move could be coming in PULM. It's definitely got the, support at these prices. It looks like it's got very strong support here at the 4s. All right, multiple day support here in the 4s. Bands are tightening, so we'll see what happens in PULM. Either we're going to see a breakout or a breakdown. We're going to see a breakout or a breakdown. All right, so we'll see tomorrow. I'll put that on the list tomorrow because we know what this stock can do. And if it does start to run, I have no doubt you'll start seeing significant more volume coming in because people already know what the possibilities are. And that in itself is enough. And people say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, just look at Dries. I mean, Dries makes a positive move. And then all of a sudden everybody shows up to play. And Dries been struggling so far since the horrible news on earnings. But any turnaround in Dries, everybody's going to show up. Now you're at these lower RSI levels too, especially now in Dries. So Dries too tightening here on that 30-minute chart. Let's move a little bit closer here on the 5-minute move on Dries. So all right, so when we get to the 5-minute charts, Dries doesn't look so nice. But Dries trying to stay high, man. Trying to stay in the high 3s. Trying to hang in there. Let's see if it can. It's trying. Let's see here. R-log, the 93 cent. Okay. R-log. The only thing about R-log is that volume has been drying out. This used to have a significant more volume than it does now. So R-log volume drying out. Now you're below 100,000. I remember R-log to earlier in the year. As you can see, this is late last year. R-log did an incredible run. But, late last year, R-log had significant more volume than it did now. So I'm not sure what's going on with that situation in R-log, but nice run for that 7% gain today alone. Yeah, Craig, you missed out, man. We had like 200 people in here yesterday. Shout out to David from Investors Hangout for that. And make sure you guys, again, sign up. If you love the OTC stuff, make sure you sign up with those guys, man, and get into those rooms. BIOC has been on the top stocks for the exchange now, almost 3 days in a row here. So BIOC, when it cracked the 160 level, I should have been all over it. I marked it myself. I said 160 is the buy, and I didn't take advantage of it. I'll be passing up on some great opportunities here, but man, now you're up another 30% on BIOC. Who knows how high you can keep going with this, man? Who knows how high you can keep going with this? And we're running on, which seems to be like, they're putting out an article every 2 days. All right. First, it was the idea that they're going to be at this investor banking conference. And then they had won a patent in Australia. And now the CEO releases a letter to shareholders saying, hey, we're doing a great job. This is what we look forward to 2017 and outlining their priorities. So now it looks like to me they're just kind of keeping the momentum and trying to do something. And we're possibly going to be seeing them start to sell some shares here to raise some money. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully that offering doesn't drop. But I'm smelling an offering here coming in BIOC. 631, you're on the air. What's up?
What's up?
Hey, who am I speaking with?
Sean.
All right. And Sean, how can I help you, man?
The JAGX.
All right. What about
today? I watched it. I got in at 92. I watched it go up to 117 and didn't sell.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched it come back down. And I was kicking myself.
So, I mean, are you thinking it's going to have another green day tomorrow, or are you looking to take profits?
I might just sell out because it's just not looking, from all the stuff I've been looking at, it just looks like it's not going to do good tomorrow.
Well, we'll see, man. I mean, the market is pretty funny, man, but the 51% gain on that news, to really profit from it, obviously you had to be in the day before, but you got in at that dip I see here, and if you do test the morning, and I think the morning you're gonna have a great morning. The first 30 minutes, I think you'll be able to make out another 10 or 15 cent in the morning. So in fact, I'd probably put in an order right now to close out at 115, 116, and you might just get filled in the morning at that price. Very likely you will, because you will have some people who will, come home, see that 51% gain on the stock and say, hey, this could be a, multiple day situation. So you probably will get filled there at that 115, 120 level, where you probably should have sold out today. But I don't know if it'll be able to maintain this. But again, I mean, there's been several stocks these last couple of days that ran on even weaker news. So we'll see what happens on Jaguar Animal Health.
Yeah, that and GSS.
Yeah,
I watched
company.
it go up. Yeah, I should have got out of it. It was up to $1, almost a little over. Then started going back down. It's around 94, I think.
Yeah, GSS is one that I'm questioning the operations that it's got going on for itself right now. Let me see here. Total revenue. All right. So, yeah, the company's hemorrhaging cash right now. I think if you're in and you got some profits, I would take it and run with it right now. I mean, you're up these last 2 days. Looks like it's losing that 95-cent support level. We just cracked underneath it. I think tomorrow is going to give up even more. So I would get out of this if you got some gains here.
Okay, yeah, because I got in at 84 cents.
I would take it and run with it.
Sure.
I mean, the company's losing, just bleeding cash. So I'd get out of here and run with these gains while you got them.
Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. Yeah. Oh, and GSS. Yeah. Do some research on GSS, man. I looked into GSS, this weekend, because I looked at it myself because it's been this is a pretty nice little trend that it's starting here. But once you look into the company and, you just start looking around, and it's got some Canadian connections to it. And, when it comes to Canada, man, there's so many frauds come out of Canada. Canada and China, when you talk about penny stocks, man, so many damn frauds. So many damn frauds come out of those both locations. And Canada is notorious for mining frauds because of the whole Nova Scotia, Toronto, Alberta connection with mining and what they got going on. A lot of frauds coming out of Canada. All right, I'm not saying that that's a fraud. They might have some going on, but that balance sheet has a lot to be desired. That's all I'm saying on that one. Yeah, not interested at all in GSS. I think you got some better plays when you talk about gold mining. You got some better plays, some things that are. Let me see here. Let me see. I think MUX. MUX is a little bit more. I like MUX better. More expensive, but you get more value there. MUX, $1 billion market cap, actual operations. So when you're talking about gold, you've got some much better options when you're talking about gold than GSS. That's probably a weaker. That's probably as bad as BAA. BAA that's they're even worse. But you're looking at two companies with very similar market caps, different situations, but GSS probably should be at where BAA is, honestly. All right. And let me see here. Yeah, I would label them probably two of the worst gold plays on the exchange. Let me see, CALVF. Caledonia Mining Corp. Don't know anything about it. You let us know about it. Trading at 10 times earnings, so it looks pretty cheap. What's going on there? 919. I think it's Bad Scientist. What's good, man?
Hey Sal, how's it going?
Hey, well, how's it going with you?
Oh man, been busy, but glad to be back on the show. You can always tell I'm available when I'm tweeting, 10 tweets.
Definitely. Glad to have you back, man. What do you have for us today?
Let's see, what do I have for you? I've got a few picks on the regular exchanges. CLRB, that's C for condom, I guess. L as in lion, R as in renegade, B as in boy.
Yes, CLRB, Selector Biosciences. This was it's on our list last month. I see here, and it's been able to maintain these prices, man. And guessing you think it's got a bright future ahead of it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the last 3 days. It follows exactly my setup. It started off, I guess, near an RSI of about 62, 63 over the last 3 days. Even though now it's approaching the oversold at RSI 80, you can see the steady increase. What I like is the stepwise increase in volume from 750,000 to day 2, 1.5 million, day 3, 2.3 million. I like that. I wish I could have caught it yesterday or the previous day, but this chart is perfect. So that's my first pick. The other one I like a lot is CLSN. So C as in cow, L as in lion, S as in Samantha, N as in naughty or naughty.
All right, CLSN. Another biotech play. You liking the bios today?
Well, yeah. I mean, I am a biotech person.
Yeah.
So, and to be honest, biotech, there's 2 sectors that always perform really well. That's the healthcare sector and the technology sector. Occasionally, when oil is up and maybe like minerals are up, the basic materials sector is also is also quite active. But as a default, I'll always go to healthcare stocks because those always perform pretty nicely for me.
Yeah. Now this is a very, very small company. As one of the smallest companies I've seen trading on the NASDAQ, only $11 million market cap on this one. Trades at 49 cents, 32% gain today alone, man. Ooh, put a lot of value on the stock today at 12 cents. So it's pretty up there now, man. But you think this can go higher?
Yep, I'm basing it off of just previous runs. If you look at the 17th of January and the 18th of January, that's kind of like where I'm expecting it to go. I think the highest on the 17th was about 60 cents.
Yeah.
So you could, you could pull out a good 25% gain in the next day or two. Maybe it will go higher than that. But see how around like the 11th of January you started getting higher volume than what you could see to your left.
Yeah. I see here, you had it gotten higher, pulled back, and then you had that 1 day of just...
Exactly. So that's what I look for. I look for activity and volume, and you notice how it initially started at about the 11th and then phased out, and now it's coming back in, almost like a wave. I always tell people it's almost like you're a surfer and you're catching waves, and if volume is the wave, then that's all you're looking for. You're looking for a period where the sea or the ocean is calm, and then suddenly you start seeing these waves. And if your ability to catch these waves is on point, then you can make a lot of money. Okay, so my third one is actually, this must be a basic materials one. This is CIE, C as in cow, I as in indigo, E as in elephant.
Now this one, it looks like it's been downtrending for the month of January, but you see a turnaround likely here.
I see a turnaround. I'm going to be testing this candlestick formation. So you see the 2 red candles for today and yesterday. Notice that you see the longer candle from yesterday and then the longer red candle from yesterday and the inner red candle from today. That's called a homing pigeon candlestick pattern or signal. And seeing this at the bottom of a chart tells me that this might actually turn around. Now, we'll have to wait for confirmation tomorrow, but this is what I like to see. I like to test these different candlestick patterns and actually see if they pan out. So a big red candle followed by the second day red candle within that big candle, that is a homing pigeon signal. And because it's at the bottom of the chart, for me, this actually tells me there might be a bullish reversal. So that's it with the NASDAQ type plays. Oh, I've got another two that are very similar. So these ones, you can kind of count them as the same one because they pretty much have the same candlestick pattern, which I have recently really enjoyed trading. So the first one is TCS. T as in Tom, C as in cow, S as in Samantha. And the second one is XCO, X as in xylophone, C as in cow, O as in orange. These two have the exact same chart at the bottom. So if you look at you can just go to TCS. This one, you notice the two candlesticks from today and yesterday. So you started off the first day with a red candlestick, and then today you see the green candlestick, and it's at the bottom of the chart. This is called a tweezer bottom. They kind of look like buck teeth. Think of, those people with, or a rabbit with two big front teeth, and they're always different colors. The two candlesticks are different colors. So if it happens at the bottom of the chart, as we see with TCS here, and by the way, we're looking at the daily chart, not the 5-minute. So red candle followed by a green candle, which has very similar sizes. It's called a tweezer bottom, and once again, that is a sign of a bullish reversal, but then you need to catch the confirmation on this one tomorrow. So as long as it's today's candle, where did that close? At 421. As long as it's above 421, you should go in with the knowledge that you could have a genuine reversal on that.
Now, for TCX, I want to make sure we're talking about the right one here. That we're talking about this stock that's priced at $47.50.
No. This one it's called the Container Store Group. It's T as in Tom, C as in cow, S as in Samantha.
Okay.
TCS.
Right. There we go. I'm looking at the chart. I'm like, Bat, I don't think you play stocks this high. But okay, now I see what you're talking about in the buck teeth. There we go. Here's that buck teeth
those buck
formation,
teeth,
because I wasn't seeing it on that last
so
one. But, here's what we have.
Red buck tooth followed by green buck tooth at the bottom of the chart. That's called a bullish tweezer bottom. So I guess it looks like tweezers, right? I don't know where the name comes from, but yeah, so that's called a bottom tweezer. If you get those buck teeth at the top where now the candlesticks are reversed, a green candle followed by a red candle at the top of a chart, that's called a bearish top tweezer. And you can Google this stuff. I mean, if you go to Google Images or Yahoo Images, you can Google all this stuff. They have plenty of information in all these charts. So when you see these patterns, especially this one here on TCS, you're looking for a bullish reversal pattern going into tomorrow.
Now, Bat, when you see these, because obviously, your method depends on we're using or coming up with these plays, but depends on that daily chart. So how long are you looking to stay into these? Because maybe your very next pattern doesn't show, that it's staying with the original call. So how long do you stay on these in this stock?
Okay, so if we look at TCS right now, notice it closed. So once again, I use my 4 and 8 exponential moving averages. Those are really my guides as to, whether I'm just in it for the short run or whether I'm in it for the long haul. And today at 421, which is where TCS closed, it was right on the 4 exponential moving average. So what I want to see tomorrow is if it can move above that $4.21 line as it approaches the 8 exponential, which is at $4.45 thereabouts. That's what I wanted to do. For a strong day, I want to see either the volume kind of matching up today's volume of 1.2 million. I also want to see, as long as it's able to close maybe at or over the 4 exponential moving average. If it can do that or better, I'll probably stay in it long term. Obviously, because it's a bit more expensive as a stock, for you to even get 10%, you're looking at it in the 460s or 470s. But as long as if it closes above the 8 exponential moving average and now starts moving towards that middle Bollinger Band or the 20-day simple moving average, then that's a good sign. Yeah. And that 20-day simple moving average is right under $5.
Right under $5. And I see here the stock as of right now is just below that 4 EMA. I mean, just right underneath just below. Okay.
So that's what I use. That's really what tells me stay in. As long as it's posting higher highs and higher lows, I'm still in it. But sometimes if it's not moving as fast as I want it to, I can always just break even or cash out with a small profit. But definitely, the other one, XCO, this one is a lower priced stock. So this one may get you, better gains because this one is a 65-cent stock. And once again, it closed at the 4 exponential moving average. To get to the 8, it just has to go to about 67. Yeah. And if it can start heading towards the middle Bollinger Band or 20-day simple moving average, that's at 75 cents. And because it's at the bottom of the chart, literally it could move to any of those highs. So it could go to 75, which if you draw a horizontal line, gets a few candles, and that's a good resistance there. Or it could even go to 80, where there's another resistance there. So yeah, from 64 to 80 cents, you could make a good 25-30%. Could go higher, but these are the type of things that I look for when I'm trading the next day.
Now, Bad Scientist, in these two, not to cut you off, but I see you're always looking for setups that are underneath the 4 and 8, just because. Do you feel like they offer you a higher probability to turn around when you see that pattern underneath the 4 and 8, or do you ever sometimes see it when it's over the 4?
That's a good question. These two that I picked so happens that they're under the 4 and the 8 because they're heavily undersold. And like if you look at XCO, I think the RSI is like 32
it's
or
really
33.
low,
So it's really, really low. But no, that's not a criteria. What I'm looking for, my really, really typical trade is if we go to the OTC, Soon Q, which we're all familiar with, SUNEQ.
Yeah.
You see, if you put your Bollinger Bands on the daily chart for Soon Q, notice how. Okay, so the last 2 candles, so yesterday's candle just touched the upper Bollinger Band, and the volume is around 3.45 million.
Right.
And then today, notice what the volume is. It's 7.8 million.
Yeah.
It broke out of the upper Bollinger Band. That's my typical setup, and that has really nothing to do with being under or over the 8 exponential. You do see, though, that before that breakout yesterday, the 8 and 4 exponential moving average were converged. They were actually one line. And then when yesterday came about, you get that initial breakout where the 4 is ahead of the 8, and then the gap widens into today. So that is my typical setup, and this one is looking good. I'd love to see tomorrow it go to at least maybe 12.5 cents, which is round about near the opening of the red candle on the 6th of January.
Okay. Yes.
So at least for this one, we're catching it. Would be catching it on the 3rd day, but really, you would have wanted to have gotten in on this one on the 8th of February, which was yesterday.
Yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice place.
And then the next one. So this one is a much earlier play, which, if it goes our way, this could actually be a very good trade. This one is RBiz. I call it RBizzle, my niggle. R for Robert, B for boy, I for Indigo, Z for Zimbabwe. RBiz.
All right, I'm there looking at RBiz.
And you see today's candle. So very much, if you look to the left of today's chart, today's candle, the volume is pretty low. I mean, we're talking about 300,000 as a volume. What's important to note, and I think I might have tweeted about this, is whenever you get a doji at the bottom of a candle, bottom of a chart, when there's a doji, which was yesterday, you see that crossing on yesterday's. Whenever you see something like that at the bottom of a chart, pay attention, because if it gaps up the next day, it's pretty much a good sign that you should get into that trade. And a typical setup would be like, if you look at the 3 candlestick formation, which this one, doesn't quite have, but if you're familiar with the Morning Star pattern that happens at the bottom of a chart, it's a 3-day candlestick pattern, which is the stock is in a downtrend, so it's at the bottom of the cycle. Day 1, you get a long red candle. Then day 2, you get a doji, in this case where you see yesterday's doji. And then day 3, you see a gap up and the candle is green. So that's the formation of a Morningstar candlestick pattern, where the first day is a red candle in a downtrend. Second day is a doji, which could be at the level of the close of the previous day or further down. If the doji is way down in relation to the first candle, that's called an abandoned baby, because it's separated from the other 2 candles essentially. I wish I had an example of that, but for the essence of time, I can always call some other time and we can look at an example of a Morningstar. So anyway, red candle, day 1, doji, second candle, and then 3rd day, if it's green and it gaps above that doji, you're in that trade, because that's a typical Morningstar setup. If the doji is sandwiched between them, it's called a doji Morningstar. Otherwise, it could be a spinning top or a smaller sized candle with a body that's not really a doji, but it's still a Morningstar signal.
And what and also, not to cut you off, but so what we're expecting now tomorrow is an even increase, a bigger increase in volume, and of course the price going higher, being that third pattern.
And this one is perfect because we're catching it early. Notice in the Bollinger Band, it hasn't started. If you blow it up, you might see that it's barely started what they call the bullish expansion, because it did have consolidation between the 30th of January until yesterday. It was in that channel, and now it's closed just below that upper Bollinger Band at 0.039. So, and you look at the volume compared to the previous days, Previous days, like I said, is around 300,000, and this one, today's volume is 5 million or close to 5 million. So that's really what I'm looking for. If tomorrow it puts in another great day where it crosses, it has to break above the upper Bollinger Band and close higher, then we're definitely in for a multiple day run. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, but I'm basing this off, if you look back at the 29th of December, you'll notice that huge candle, which was followed by a red candle, but the close of that green candle and the open of that red candle the following day is at about 8 cents. So this is where I predict this should go if it continues. It will go from the 4 cents now and should get 100% gain on this within the week. As long as it puts in a good day tomorrow, that's where it's heading, straight for 8 cents from the 4 cents now.
Man, that would be a nice move for this stock. Our biz will put us at that put a lot of people on the money here, and I think that's what a lot of people want to hear, man.
Yeah, our bizzle, my nizzle. So
yes, indeed.
So I'll just stop at that. But in summary, I would say, guys, look for low RSI stocks and look for bullish reversal signals. And if you follow my tweets on Twitter, you'll see, for instance, the hammer signal, which looks just like a hammer. You see the body of the candle at the base of at the bottom of the chart with a long lower wick. That's a hammer signal. Looks just like a hammer. There were several stocks today that did well, including, I think, Skies. Skies had a hammer signal, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah, Skies was a situation that came out of nowhere too, and sure enough, I'm pulling up the chart here, and yes, I do see that doji, in this pattern as well, followed by incredible amount of volume into the stock today.
Yeah, and look at where it is. It's at the bottom of the chart, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was okay. Yeah, so you're right. That's a doji. Yes, in fact, that's a doji followed by today's gap up. I think the hammer. I took it out to the weekly chart. If you take it out to the weekly chart, you'll see the hammer signal right there. So it's very important to know what the big picture
here on the weekly.
Yeah, there's on the weekly chart, the hammer signal is there. So if you're looking to see how is this stock been doing over the last week or last month, just go from your daily chart. You see on the weekly chart, it's up. On the weekly chart, it crossed both the 8 and 4 exponential moving average. It's also crossed the middle Bollinger Band. Very good sign. If you go to the monthly chart of that, so for swing traders who want to trade, by the week or by the month, if you go to the monthly chart, you see what's called an inverse hammer. So an inverse hammer that's at the bottom of the chart is still bullish as much as a conventional hammer is. And you see, even on the monthly chart, it's just under the 8 exponential moving average. So if you want to know how many months can I trade this for or how many weeks, just take your daily chart, convert it to a weekly chart, convert it to a monthly chart. Notice as well, on the monthly chart, where is the volume at? It's at 10 million. What were the previous day's volumes? There were 500,000.
Yeah, practically non-existent,
practically non-existent. And you do see a few days back, like on the, a few months back. April 2016 was where there was a 50 million day. And then August was a 12 million day, and then September was a 7 million day, and then if you ignore those three, you basically have no volume. Going back to 2015, and then this month of February, you already have 10 million. So the way you interpret charts is you've got to look at the volume. You've got to look at the volume at different time frames. If you're a swing trader, look at the daily, look at the weekly, look at the monthly. Now, let's see, for instance, if we go to the 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frame may not tell you that much per se, but let's go to it anyway. Okay, so today was a good day. On the 5-minute time frame, you started at about, I think it opened at about 281, and then that first 5-minute candle was red. The next candle started lower and then broke past that 281. So that's how some people would trade. They either would wait for that green candle to pass through the open or pass through the high of that first candle, which was 298 was the high. And then basically after about 15 minutes, it basically came all the way down from there. So it only had basically 15 minutes to its upside.
Wow. So if you wouldn't have basically had seen this the night before, you pretty much would have been out. If you didn't get in, within the first 15 minutes, you probably would have been you wouldn't have been profitable on this trade.
Yep, exactly. And notice at the top, the red candle next to the green, that's a tweezer top right there on the 5-minute. So that's when you see those two buck teeth candles of similar size, green candle followed by a slightly longer red candle, but pretty much near about the same size. That's a tweezer top right now. Right there, that's a bearish signal. So if you see that happening at the top of any chart, just pay attention, because that's more than likely a bearish signal. Yeah. So on the daily chart, you may not have actually traded this that well, because you basically had 15 minutes of trading it, unless you shorted it at the top
at the
there.
very top.
But even the 4 and 8 exponential moving averages, they only crossed each other at about 280, let's say 288-ish, around there.
Yeah, this
So
is
the most
definitely
you
a
could have
stock
gained.
you had to be in the day before, or like
Right.
what we just did. You had to see that sign last night, and then the first thing in the morning jumped in, knowing what possibly could happen today.
So you know what I do, Sal, at the end of each day? If you go to FinViz, just go to your filters, and under the technical tab, if you pick Doji, for instance, you can. So that will give you every stock today that has a Doji, and then all you do is you can filter by RSI in an ascending order. Because if you sort by RSI and you start from the lowest, you'll more than likely, it will bring up all those stocks with dojis near the bottom. And it's as simple as that. Then you can look through, if you're interested in volume or, improving volume or RSI, then just make sure you're picking, the stocks that have that doji at the bottom of the chart. That way, going into tomorrow, and then you can sort by price and all of that, but it's as simple as that. I think the FinViz screen also has, you can pick all the hammer signals, you can pick inverted hammers, you can pick the bold candlestick with no wicks on it, the Marubotsu, you can pick that, either the bullish one or the bearish one. This does it all for you, so it's not like you have to go through 10,000 stocks to try and see, try and find what you're looking for. You can, especially for swing traders, that is, I mean, day traders, you're probably responding more to, high volume, and maybe there's a catalyst after hours or pre-market.
Now, Bats, because I'm looking at the FinViz screen now, when you're looking at it, right, you pulled up the screener, Where are you?
Yes.
Where are you finding that doji at? Is it in the technical
Okay,
descriptive?
so all right, I'm on the Finviz. Okay, so you're on the home page, is that correct?
Yes, and I've clicked the screener.
So so you clicked Finviz stock screener.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so towards the center of the page, you get those 4 tabs that are written descriptive, fundamental, technical, and all.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes, I
Click
do.
the technical, because
Okay.
this is under technical analysis. Then look to your right and to the bottom. You see where it says candlestick as a
Okay.
drop-down menu?
I see it here.
Click candlestick, and then can you see doji somewhere in the middle there, just
Yes.
after the middle up?
Doji.
So you can
Okay.
you see all these options. You've got long lower shadow, upper hammer, inverted hammer, spinning white, dragonfly doji, which is basically like the letter T that's at the bottom of a chart. So that's a dragonfly doji. So literally it's a horizontal line, which means the buyers and the sellers, there was a stalemate, but then it has a lower wick like the hammer would, just the candle doesn't have a body, so it looks like the letter T at the bottom of the channel. Well, if you pick it at the bottom of the channel, that's also might indicate a bullish reversal. So you see here, if you click on doji, it will just give you all the stocks that had a doji for today. So what you want to do to maybe select for candles at the bottom, you want to go to, you know where you went on technical?
Yes.
Out of those 4 tabs? Look at the tabs, the options above that. Do you see where it says order? So you've got my presets, you've got order, you've got signal, you've got tickers.
Yes,
it's
I do.
above those 4 options.
Uh-huh.
So under order, just go to RSI. So click relative strength index with the 14 in parentheses, and then click ascending. So that will give you from the lowest RSI to the highest.
All right. Let me see here. Relative. Let me see here.
It should be one of the last options near the bottom. I think it's like...
Okay, there it is. Relative strength index ascending. Okay. All right. So now
click,
this is from...
Yeah.
Oh, let me get the damn ad. Okay. All right. So relative strength index 14 ascending. And so, yes, now I see here from... And this is from lowest to highest, you saying?
So this will give you the lowest RSI to the highest. So what's your first ticker that you see there?
I'm seeing my first ticker is Vesto or VSTO. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So click on that.
All right.
And you can double check. It will bring up the chart of VSTO. And then from that chart, you can go and find RSI on that chart, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like the 9th column from the left.
Okay.
And it's near.
I see it
4th
right here.
from the bottom.
RSI.
RSI 16.4.
Yeah.
Now that's heavily,
that's
oversold.
way oversold. Okay. Oh,
And it's
okay, Babs. I see what you're doing here, man.
So, this does it all for you. Then you can go back to if you click that, go to, you can now select by maybe stocks that you just want that where they're all up and not down. You can select, I think there's a tab there above, just under RSI in those options, you see where it says change.
Okay, yes.
And you can click up by 5%, you can click any option that you want. So let's say, for instance, you wanted just stocks that went up today. You're not interested in any stocks that went down. You just click that option where it says up, and that should just give you the stocks that were up today, which of those were dojis.
Oh, okay.
And then you can
sure
even
enough,
select
our number
by
one
volume.
stock on our list today, JAGX, was on that list.
Yep. Yeah, and you notice if you click on JA, so perfect. JAGX closed as a doji. In fact, it didn't even have a body at all.
Wow.
Which basically means that there was a stalemate between the bulls and the bears. Like no one won that battle. If the bulls had won that battle, you would have seen a green candle, going up. And if the bears had won, you would have seen a red candle. But the fact that it's a horizontal line, it means that there's indecision between buyers and sellers. And that's particularly bad now since it's gone up. We don't know which way it's going to go tomorrow because that means undecided or indecisive.
Wow. Yep. Verified it on the chart. And sure enough, it did close as a doji, man. Perfect.
Yep. So those are just a few lessons that I have for today. Always, look at the top of the chart, look at the bottom of the chart, and see if you can pick up any of these signals. Then wait for confirmation the next day, and see if that works for you.
Now, Bad Scientist, for people who don't know what a doji, can you explain what a doji is?
Okay, so if you look at a regular candlestick, the shape of the candlestick is the body itself. So what gives the candlestick its color, whether it's a green or red candle or a black and white candle, it depends on what colors you have on your charts, but it's typically green and red or a white and black, whichever option. So the body of the candle, what looks like the actual candle itself, that if it's a green candle or if it's a candle in an uptrend, the bottom of that candle will be the open and the top of that candle will be the close. If the candle has a lower wick and an upper wick, let me see if I can illustrate that with an example. Let's go to skies, like for instance.
All right.
Go to the daily candlestick for skies.
And there it is, right there, just before today.
Yeah, so that body of the candle, which is red, that's called the body of the candle. So you look, because it's a red candle, the top of that body is the open and the bottom of that body is the close. Had it been a green body, the bottom would be the open, the top would be the close, because that would be an uptrending candlestick. This is a downward trending candlestick, so the top is the open and the close the bottom is the close. Okay, so you see that long wick above the candle
on
the upper wick
on today's date for skies.
Yes, today's skies. You see that long candlestick?
Yes, I do.
Okay, no, sorry, the long wick or the long whisker.
Okay.
When you get that type of thing happening, especially at the top of the chart, that's called a shooting star. Because imagine a star falling through the sky, it leaves a streak behind it. If this happens at the top of the chart, where essentially this is the top of the chart in a few days, that's called a shooting star. It's bearish, and it's normally not a good sign. I think, Sal, you've actually referred to these when you're trading, is when a stock hits resistance at the top, you normally see many of those upper wicks. Yeah. Now, those are called shooting stars.
Yeah. That's
and it means that it's
a sign for shorters to come in, because it looks like a price will be going up.
Yes. And what makes it a perfect shooting star is if the body of the candle has no lower wick. So it looks more like a sperm or a tadpole. If you look at this one, this does have a lower wick, but that lower wick is much smaller than the upper wick, so it's still a shooting star. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like below so the upper wick is long and the lower wick is much shorter.
Now I'm looking for possibly another one. Now here's a stock that we've talked about here, ACUR. ACUR was a big gainer a couple of days ago. As you can see, we had a huge green bar there where we had a lot of huge buying coming in based on that news. Now
I see that.
today,
So
right. So we pulled back yesterday. Now today we've got the doji. What are you saying that this could possibly do tomorrow? Are you saying that this could possibly, retest the high it made a couple days ago?
So because if we look at those three candles, the first one was the solid bullish green candle.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it opened with no whiskers at the bottom, so it was an opening Marubozu white candlestick, to be specific, because the opening has no wick, so it's called a Marubozu opening white candlestick because it's green and it's bullish.
Mm-hmm.
So it pretty much the bulls ruled 3 days ago. Then yesterday you see the shooting star formation. It looks just like today's drive, very similar. And that would have implied that you have a bearish trend going on. But today, because it's a doji, once again, a doji means indecision, but this indecision is happening at the top of a chart. So I would hazard to guess that maybe it's going to go down tomorrow, but because it's a doji, it means that there's indecision between the buyers and sellers. Now, if the buyers decide, we should get into this and buy this, and the sellers are overwhelmed, then the stock is obviously going to go up.
Sure.
But a doji is tricky, but what you want to see is the next day. The next day, if it's green, you could possibly get into it. If it's red, you should possibly short it, or wait for it to consolidate a bit more. So like I said, a doji at the top. If tomorrow's signal is actually down, that's going to be what's called an evening star, which is the opposite of the morning star that I talked about, except that normally that preceding candle should be green, followed by a doji, and then a red candle for tomorrow. But, sometimes the actual colors of the candles don't really matter. It's more the formation of the pattern. If you see it opening lower tomorrow, think about shorting it, basically.
Okay.
But it's hard to tell because a doji means there's uncertainty.
Right, and
So
then it's still sitting above the 4, still sitting above the 8. So
Right.
very interesting to see.
let's
And we're also,
let's
and
not
that's why,
forget about that.
now this stock is on our list for tomorrow, but it's also, we've got to make sure we see the volume as well, right? Because I'm seeing declining
Good
volume
point.
over the 3 days.
There's
So
no volume, and that's also a sign that the stock could be approaching exhaustion, because today's volume, the very first day we had 13.5 million. Yesterday's shooting star candle we had nearly half, more than half of that, 5.1 million. Today we only had 1.6 million. So because your volume's going down, that would suggest that this stock has reached exhaustion and will probably go down further. But that's just my hunch. You would have to get in tomorrow after seeing, getting the confirmation.
all right. So Bad Scientist, I know you got a family you got to get to. If I can just have you take a look at one more stock.
Yeah, no. I'm good. Wife's putting the kids to sleep, so
Okay.
I've got all the time in the world.
All right, so I've done your screen here, so I'm just basically looking at what's being pulled up on your screen.
Okay.
BDSI, this is one that we talked about in the past too as well.
Okay.
Now this one was interesting because I already have it mapped out where we were looking for a breakout between 185 and 196. It broke out today. Now we got the doji pattern. Volume was only 300,000, but being that it broke out, let me see here, broke out of this looks like a level that had been kind of stuck in since almost since December 27th. So huge move for BDSI. Now we got the doji pattern at the top.
Yeah, and you see, once again, man, the charts work. I mean, so we're talking about BDSI. What do you see on the 15th of December and the 16th of December? What did I tell the group? That signal. You get those buck teeth at the top. That's a tweezer top. Look at what happened subsequently after that. It was bearish.
Yeah, very bearish after those buck teeth.
You can't really pull this out of your ass. Once again, let me give you another one that's on this chart. Look at the 30th of January. Look at the 31st of January. Buck teeth again. And in fact, these are hammer signals at the top of the chart, which are called hanging man. When you get a hammer at the top of a chart, it's called a hanging man. Here you have a green hanging man next to a red hanging man. What happened after that? Bearish. So, this is the type of stuff that I look at every day and I say, okay, what is this telling me? I look at these patterns, I learn them. I mean, they're not going to work every time, but it's good to know them. Let me show you one more thing.
Go ahead.
This is what we were talking about. 24th of January, what do you see?
24th of January. Here, that doji showed up, and sure enough.
So the doji showed up. So red candle on the 24th, doji, which is low at the 25th. Next day, gap up on the 26th. Typical morning star at the bottom of the chart. What happens after that? It continues up.
Yeah, it continues up, and that was a nice return for somebody too. You gained almost 30 cents a share from that doji opening. That would have been a very nice return on $1.76.
So, you can't, there's a reason why people have actually given these patterns, names, is because, a lot of the times you get, okay, here's another one, man, this thing is riddled with all this stuff. The 28th of December, green candle.
Here it is.
29th of December, doji. 30th of December, green candle. Look at the trend. It goes up over the next 5 days.
Over the next 5 days, yeah. That would have been a beautiful third turn, too. 170. Had to turn around at 189. So, yeah, almost 19 cents a share again on $1.70. Again, on a stock that cheap, 19 cents, that's a really good profit on the stock that cheap.
So, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, it obviously depends on, because what you might see might be different from what I see. But, go to these charts and see, if you can pick up something at the bottom of the chart, at the top of the chart, you'll start noticing patterns. So when you notice the chart or the stock is oversold, you'll normally see like whiskers at the top, or you'll see a hanging man, which is a hammer at the top. Those are just a few signals that you'll see at the top of the, in an overbought condition. Similarly, in an oversold condition, you could see a doji, you could see a dragonfly. I don't believe I've shown anyone a dragonfly doji, but these things will come up sooner or later. So that's what I have. Yeah, I could talk about this forever.
We want to hear it forever. I mean, anything that's going to get us better, man. I don't have anything against it. And hey, Bad Scientist, are you going to be available for us tomorrow?
What day is it? It's Friday tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I should be around. Yeah, right. I can call back in, but let's go and read charts, guys. This stuff is fun. I don't know about the rest of you, but I just love this.
No, I absolutely love it. I mean, this is awesome, and I would really love for us to be able to just go hard tomorrow and really look for some plays that can set into next week. I think that'll be good. But in the meantime, Bats, let us know what educational material did you? Because I know I've given out some Candlestick DVDs here before as torrents.
Okay.
But what have you been studying for to enable you to get this sophisticated in trading the Candlestick?
Remember that PDF I messaged you from Stephen Bigelow?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what I started off with. So he basically says that as a foundation, all you need to know is 12 candlestick signals. 6 of them are bullish, 6 of them are bearish. Once you know those ones, the rest will kind of fall in place. So I don't know if you still have that PDF that you could send out or maybe put on Discord.
I was going to post it. Post it in the Discord. What was the day you emailed me that again? I'm looking at my Gmail right now.
That's a good question.
I get so many messages, bro.
Maybe 3 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Send me. How about this? Send me that email again tonight. Send me if you can't even right now, send it to me and I'll post it in the Discord room.
Okay, sounds good.
And then,
so
because I know that's just a PDF, but did you look at any possible DVDs or even audio or anything like that?
Not well. I listen. I'm a lazy guy. I watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So you can type candlestick patterns. The other one you've actually referenced, and that's Bulkowski.
Yeah.
His website.
It's amazing.
There are, I don't know how many hundreds of patterns are in there, but that thing is filled with patterns.
Yeah.
And then, for instance, when I look up a new candlestick pattern, I'll often just go to Google Images or or Yahoo Images just to see the pattern for myself. Then what I'll do is I'll go to any chart and I'll start looking and seeing if I can identify it. Because really most of these, it's one candlestick that gives you a signal. It could be 2 candlesticks like the buck teeth we were talking about. That's a 2 candlestick formation. A 3 candlestick formation, so it could be the morning star, which is bullish at the bottom of the chart with a doji, or it could be an evening star, which is at the top of a chart, which means likely going to be bearish. Then there's some more complicated ones. There's a couple of ones that I've tweeted about, which is the 3 rising method candlestick, which is one huge green candlestick followed by 3 small red candlesticks descending, and then the 4th candlestick is as big as the first green, and that's a bullish continuation pattern as well. So you'll get variations of this, or the one I mentioned with CIE, which was a longer red candlestick with a smaller red candlestick in it, and that's called a homing pigeon signal. So you can just go to Google Images, type homing pigeon signal, and you'll see exactly what it looks like. So all you need to do is go and look at any chart and see if you spot it. Look to see what happens after it. I would say the stronger the stronger the bullish probability is if you have it at the bottom of a chart rather than the top of a chart. So I don't listen to DVDs. I listen to YouTube videos. I'm a quick study. Like I learn really quickly, and then I start doing my own homework and looking at charts and seeing, if I can spot these patterns.
Yeah, this is incredible, man. And I got the PDF. Thank you, 3 Hooks, for that. Also, of course, candlestick charting for dummies is never, a bad thing. So that's the torrent. I'm going ahead and put that in the chat room for you guys to download as well. But man, this is great information. Thank you so much, Bats. And tomorrow we'll definitely pull up some material for us to review tomorrow, man. But I'm so grateful for you, man.
Quick question. Sorry, not a problem. Quick question. So Three Hooks was able to post this. Does he have special rights to put website addresses on your chat? Because I always try this and it doesn't.
Yeah. He is a moderator, but go ahead and no, Bats. You should be. I think you have moderator status, man. I think you should be a mod already.
You think so?
Yeah, you should be a moderator already. If not, just go ahead and make a comment. I'll make you a moderator. Just go ahead and make a comment. I'll make you a moderator now. I mean, obviously, dude, you've donated, so much game to people here in this chat room that, we've got individuals out here, making thousands, millions of dollars on this information, providing it to people. And here you are doing such an incredible, great thing for us, to providing it to us, out of your own, generosity of your heart, man. I honestly, I'm so grateful, dude. Appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. Yeah, I just tried to post the HTTP site of this show, and it says, "Oops, remove any web addresses and try again."
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, just post something like hello. Like post something like hello.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead, post like hello.
Just a second. Okay. All right, there we go.
All right. And boom. All right, so now you're a moderator. Definitely earned it. I tell you that much. I'm so grateful for you, Brads, and I'm sure everybody in the chat room as well is incredibly grateful. Man.
Well, I appreciate all what you do on this show, and I keep telling people wherever I go, please, sign up for the Small Cap Millionaire, because this show is really great, and I just love everyone on this show. So thanks guys, and I guess we'll talk tomorrow, but I appreciate it. So keep keeping on.
Sir.
Rock on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. Deep game, man. I really hope you guys really, that was just incredible, man. Shout out to Bats. All YouTube is just a way for us to document, man, and a lot of people try to, clown on me when I call myself the small cap millionaire, but I'm just trying to document this rise and this journey into becoming someone who can, become a millionaire off trading small cap stocks. And I'm so happy that many of you guys have decided to come on the journey and pursue this with me. So it's just days like this when you be able to get this good game to add to, your arsenal to enable you to trade better. So by all means, download that PDF, download that candlestick charting for dummies. Learn it, because he's absolutely right. He's showing us these patterns that right after they show up, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. We can see here that again, that's another doji pattern he showed us here. This is a turnaround situation where the stock had been going up, and all of a sudden, look at that, collapsed all the way down. So, huge thank you to Bat Scientist, man. And we're going to use this information to get better. We're all going to use this information to get better. Mr. Lloyd, what's going on? Mr. Lloyd, 206, what's up, man?
Hey, man, I love when Bats gives all the information out, man. Yeah. I really do. But I've always got to throw the extra disclaimer in there, because it's very key and crucial. People don't fall in love and then try to use this for every market, because it doesn't work for every market. Especially a lot of you guys that have those $500 to $600 and playing those sub penny plays, and you see these kind of candlestick patterns. Those type of plays are basically designed. They're manipulated. So for people who study candlestick patterns, they get into those, and basically they get shortchanged, because you're actually playing against Tim Sykes and everybody else. You're playing against retail, so you have to be conscientious. If you look at the videos, I've said this before. If you look at the videos, they're playing high price stocks. They're not playing IMUC and the other bullshit plays that we play for the sub penny land. So you have to be conscientious, and it does work. I'm not going to say, because I talked about candlesticks, but I just want to give a clear explanation on why people use, in my opinion, candlesticks. And basically, before I got into, and you guys are new, before you got into trading, you went to Google and put in the stock price, and all you saw was green and red. You saw the price was red because it closed that day, and you see the price at green because it closed positive that day. So, but candlesticks allows you to basically look inside the engine of the car and see exactly what is going on. It basically gives you the sentiment. I call it the Twitter. So it's the Twitter. I mean, there's no verbal feed. I mean, you can't see the feed as far as what people are saying, but you can tell by the way the candles look as far as the sentiment. But you can't really see it with sub-penny stocks. So I think I love the knowledge that he's given with the candlestick patterns. However, I just want to always reiterate that these patterns are only good for high-value stocks, and we're not talking about penny stocks. Every segment or every market has a different strategy, and if you're going to use candlesticks, you need to make sure you play stocks that has a greater value. I'd say at least over $5. I mean, you may be able to get away with it with some $2 or $3 stocks. However, it just depends on who's playing the stock. Because one person like your boy Tim can throw in $100,000 in there and fuck that whole bullish engulfing pattern up and just short the shit down. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But let him try to go into fucking Amazon and do that shit. Right. He ain't gonna have it's not even going to impact it. Exactly. So you really have to take that into consideration when you see these candlestick patterns, what the float is, and let's say you do see a large green candle, but it was only, you have to look at the volume dollar that day. So if there was only $1,000, but you see this big ass green candle, obviously there's a problem going on. So there's some manipulation. So candlesticks are good, but however, you have to pick the right market for the candlesticks. So, but they do work. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Lloyd.
Cool, man. And Bats, I love you dearly, man. And good job, man, for really explaining that shit. You know, I know a lot of guys got some short pockets out there, and hell, they probably see that bullish engulfing pattern for a sub triple zero stock, and like, yes, I see it. And next thing you know, now they holding a big ass bag and they upset, and then they'll never trade again. So I'm just trying to help some people conserve some of their money that may fall in love with these candlesticks, because I know how easy it is to fall in love with it, because I fell in love with it. So anyways, Sal, I'll let you get the show on, bro.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Mr. Lloyd.
All right, later.
All right, so yeah, I mean, shout out to Mr. Lloyd for that little bit of a disclaimer there, but yeah, I mean, and I think that's why Bats had brought up only Nasdaq stocks. He only brought up these higher listed companies, because the chances of these patterns following through is going to be significantly better on a stock that's actually moving on real volume, real momentum, instead of a guy with an email list. You know what I mean? So, and that's why we went to FinViz, and FinViz, unless you have the paid account at FinViz, all you're going to be able to bring up is the Nasdaq and Dow stuff. So, but again, thank you so much to Bats and Mr. Lloyd for that. Just to letting people know you don't want to use these. He's right. You don't want to really use these on CBSI or INNV or anything like that. Yeah, you definitely don't want to. He said MJNA dropped to a cent. I don't know about that. But we're gonna wrap the show up here. But MJNA, man, MJNA is just I don't know. It looks like it's a wrap. I mean, based on what Mr. Lloyd, Bat Scientist just taught us, looks like it's a wrap for MJNA. Looks like it's a wrap. Here's that pattern here, and in fact, I got to get the name of this one. But he just said, pointing to another stock, showing us that we're going to see some more negative energy coming out of MJNA. All right, I got to get the names down myself. So MJNA is struggling, but again, this is OTC stock, so the company can reach out to a promoter and then change the whole outlook of the company with an email or two. So be very, very careful when we talk about these OTC stocks. All right. You wouldn't buy without good catalyst. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much any OTC play. You know, you got to have a strong catalyst moving you higher. Unless you buy them at these ridiculously low 0001s, 0002s, where you hope something can come out of that situation once you do get news. Those are really the only two times to buy on OTC stock. I never would buy something that's just trending, or I need to get it at very, very low risk, or maybe there's a catalyst coming and I'm trying to take a position into the good news. All right. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and put out the stocks we liked today. Please join us in the Discord room. For those individuals. In fact, let me go ahead and put that link out there. We've got so many new people from the Discord room lately, and I think everybody's appreciated the new energy in the Discord room. Of course, I know we got mods in there too, so please don't go in there and waste any time. Of course, we have Investors Hangout for those individuals who are looking for maybe a deeper search of information. When we talk about these OTC plays, there's no better place to find that deeper information besides Investors Hangout. That's just a fact, man. It's just what it is. All right, so let me get in here. Somebody already put that link. Okay, yeah, thank you, Mag, for that link. Go ahead and join us in there. I'm sure it's probably already been posted in the Discord room. If not, I'll go ahead and post it, as well as let me see here. Gotta log in. The book, Candlestick Charting for Dummies. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and post the PDF that he just gave us just now. Thank you to Three Hooks. Thank you so much for that post. Major signals, there it is. Ah, crap, it's above 8 megabytes. Okay, so I'm going to have to slim it down a little bit. So I'm going to slim it down a little bit and post it in there. It looks like that file is above 8 megabytes. I'm going to slim it down a little bit. But go ahead and join us in the Discord room. Take a second after it. Let me go ahead and post the stocks we liked today. I should have asked Bat Scientist about AQMS. Here's the AQMS, and based on what you're seeing here, man, AQMS, are we going to go higher on this one? I mean, we're way above the candlestick. AQMS was the one we first kind of started talking about with Ryan Gets It, as well as Mr. Lloyd, AQMS. We also had a huge run in Airy today to start things up, and here's that move in Airy today. So again, you guys are going to have to do some research here. Prolix brought up AMRN. Here's AMRN. Looks like we got the hammer pattern to start off with. And AMRN, beautiful run here. Look at that doji starting it off. That's a beautiful run. Look at that. Oh, man, from 302 now you're up 40 cents. And this is just a matter of 1 week in AMRN. Using Bat Scientist play with these NASDAQ stocks. Look, that would have been a nice catch for somebody. All right. We've had Sinclair call about PULM. PULM here looks like, okay, we're going to see what happens here with these stocks. We're still above the 4 and 8, although this, I don't know if I'd call that a doji just yet. We'll see on that. I'm sure there's probably a word for it, or maybe that is a doji. We'll have to see on that. But again, thank you so much, Bats, for the information. Let me put out the tickers. And go ahead, of course, ladies and gentlemen, please press like on this video right now. If you felt like you learned something, if you felt like you really, took some knowledge in, please press like. We try to do this every day. Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to have Bad Scientists come on. We're going to go hard tomorrow over several tickers. we're going to look for some tickers that can make us some money into next week. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. I've kind of tried to stay away from, I know Fridays we could talk about anything. And, at this point where it's just like I feel like I'm, making good money and things are really great right now in life, I just could care less of what's going on around me. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I feel like other people just can't get it together. So I just don't give a fuck because I'm just going to start doing me. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but man, like you try to educate people. As I don't know if you guys remember when I told you a couple of weeks ago, I had bought a couple copies of Think and Grow Rich, man. And I went to this kind of, it's like for dudes who were at Goodwill. They were trying to like get new skills or whatever. So anyway, I went there, I handed out, I volunteered to help set the place up. But in the meantime, I was handing out, copies of the Think and Grow Rich. It was like these little, $4 or $5 copies. I had like 20 books or something like that, thinking I could enlighten a brother. You know what I'm saying? So tell me why last week, about a week and a half ago, and this was maybe 2 months ago, I go to Goodwill, right? I go to Goodwill and I find one of the copies of the book that I gave out that day. I mean, you want to talk about, hurt. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about, I haven't told anybody about this, but that right there just let me know, man. Like, if you won't find me on YouTube, fuck it, man. I'm not going to go out here. I'm not going to try to educate people. Either you going to find me because you want the knowledge, but I'm not going to go out and put myself out there because it is what it is. I try to do it, but you ain't fucking with it. It is what it is, man. You ain't it is what it is. So, shout out to everybody who's going to join me tomorrow on the show. It is what I mean. If you guys want to talk, we'll talk. But I really want to go hard on some stocks to let's keep growing this bank account, man. Let's keep making this money. Let's keep making this money and let's keep changing our lives for the better, on the path to becoming small cap millionaires. Think and Grow Rich. When they talk about it, if you can conceive it, you can dream it, you can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's about really just having a plan of attack. You know what I mean? And I think most of you guys in here have it. And I'm just grateful for you guys to joining me. And tomorrow we'll be back on the air. So thank you guys so much. Who else is in here? Fortis, Coralie, thank you, beautiful. Stock Diva, thank you so much for joining me. And shout out to all the women who are coming in. The women, it's gotten into a situation where now it's like 80% men and 20% women. When I first started my channel, it was like 99-1. So shout out to all the women coming into the chat room, man. Robert Turman, Vincent, Stock Skrilla, Sinclair, the Tom G, Tina Price, Joel Flores. Who's this? Master 82, thank you, sir. Trading Jedi, Wesley the Dog, Lewis Rod, Brandon Jimerson, Three Hooks, African Emporium. Africa, I'm still waiting for your call, bro. Still waiting for you to call in with something. Demario Ware, shout out to Demario Ware. Who else is in here? Amari Taylor. Who else? Shout out to everybody. E-Money, Travi, of course, Bad Scientist, Mr. Lloyd, everybody who called up. Mag3690, thank you, sir. Hayo Watha Walk, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Franklin Joe, hey man, call me in sometime. Ricky Lindo, Jason Green, thank you to everybody who called up, everybody who participates in the chat room. See you guys back here, same place, same time tomorrow. Londell Carter too. Shout out to Londell Carter, LK Ra, everybody who's in the chat room, and shout out to everybody on all the lurkers too. See you guys back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Good night, everyone. Take care.